This audio session was recorded for you. Please use headphones and listen carefully.
Hey, this is Jordan Belfort, the real Wolf of Wall Street, and you're listening to The Anthony Rogers Show.
This call is now being recorded.
Welcome back to the greatest show in the universe. Online, we have a rock legend, Chris Reece from Social Distortion. How you doing, man?
Real good, thanks.
It's not every day we have somebody from like a band like Social Distortion, so I'm like really excited actually that this is happening.
I'm excited too.
We've been our last one was a porn star, I think. We went from porn stars to punk bands now, so I think we're doing it right.
Okay.
So you were like you came in the band a little bit after it started, probably, right? Like 84, I think.
Yeah, they had just got back from the Another State of Mind tour that was a documentary that was made on a rock tour that they did in '82, or I think it was. But it kind of fell apart. The band fell apart during that tour, and when they got back to LA, they were looking for a couple new guys, and I happened to know them through playing shows up in San Francisco with another band that I played with called Lewd, and we were friends. There was very few bands at the time, maybe a dozen or so bands in the whole state of California, so everybody kind of knew everybody. We slept on each other's floor. We got each other gigs when we came to those towns, but yeah, I joined in '84.
That's how it always starts, like sleeping on floors and stuff. A lot of my buddies are in bands or entertainment, so it always starts like that, and then all of a sudden, like, you were there for like some of the big like a couple of the bigger albums and stuff. Like most of the hits were on that self-titled one, right?
Yeah, there was a couple of albums that we did on Epic Records, 90 and 92. We did a couple albums with Epic, and we were they did some MTV videos, and which really helped. That MTV was big at the time, as was college radio.
That's funny. That's crazy. Yeah. That self-titled album has like every awesome songs. I found you guys like way later because I'm like youngest. I'm like 33, so I listened to you guys when I was like 20 or so a lot. Like it was really into punk and shit, and like I fucking love your band now. It's like you're like a part of like rock and roll history at this point. Like you're like a living member of rock and roll history. I feel like.
Wow, I appreciate that.
It's fucking crazy to think about, though, right?
Well, it's crazy to think that it was 30 years ago, you know, and the time flies. That was 1990 or before, you know, when we were doing it. But that's when that record came out. That's 1990 was 30 years ago. Wow.
Yeah, I was talking to my girlfriend about this interview, and like we were talking about how you're like 60, and like how you just picture punk guys always being like really young and never aging, like you're supposed to be like immortal or like a vampire or something because you're in a punk band. Like it almost has that vibe. And I was reading an interview you did before I did this, talking about how you kind of have the same kind of attitude touring I do. Kind of like it seemed like you were just like when you left the band with like good terms, you're just like, yeah, I'm just kind of like it's fun for like when you're in your 20s, you're single, but it's not that fun for me right now. Like kind of vibe, like what I was reading. And it just seemed like really humble, like just kind of a way his opinion on touring.
Well, yeah, it can be grueling. It's just being gone all the time and away from home. You don't really. It's hard to keep a girlfriend. It's hard to have any kind of stability in your life when you're constantly on the move.
Especially tours like you guys are doing. You guys are doing like world tours, like nonstop.
And we played almost every night. We were pretty well known for not having a day off. They didn't want us to get in trouble. So they knew if they gave us a night off in some town, we'd get in trouble. So they kept us pretty busy. We played every night for months on end. We played almost every night.
That's badass to think about. Yeah, he's like as a comedian looking at how a band tours, like you guys toured, like especially back then. Like I feel like the game's like a lot different now, to where like with social media and all this stuff, to where like you just make posts now. But you had to tour to stay relevant and even get as big as you guys did. You had to be touring like constantly almost.
Right. We in order to sell records, you had to tour to back it up, and you had to, only bands that really were any kind of successful were able to play the songs live and stay together and go to the next town, without too much messing around.
Didn't you have 2 gold records, right?
I'm sorry?
You had 2 gold records?
Well, we had Yeah, 2. You say gold records?
Yeah, you personally, you have 2, right?
Yeah, 2. I've got 2.
That's so bad. What's that like, having gold records? Like, what is that? I have no idea what that feels like.
It's a kind of it's a major accomplishment, especially for a punk band, because we never really thought this would last. We never set out to do that, really. When the punk movement, it was formed, and we never really thought of it commercially. We thought of, we wanted to play these towns and take the message across, but it was beyond our imagination that the band would still be around at this many years.
So you weren't like a guy like, I'm going to be this huge star, kind of, it just happened basically from like playing music?
That was not punk rock. Other rock, in other forms of rock, maybe, they did it because they wanted the chicks or the fame, but they used to be, if someone called it was an insult to call a punk rocker a rock star. You're a rock star. Wait, blah blah blah. It was not cool to be a rock star in the punk days.
Yeah, I remember hearing like a lot of bands would lose, like as soon as they went major label, they'd lose all their fans.
They're a tough. They're very critical. Those fans of punk at that time, especially, they were very, very leery of you selling out, so-called selling out. If you were a sellout, then you were done. You were not punk rock anymore.
That's crazy. Yeah, it's crazy to think about that as a business plan. But no, it makes sense. Cause like, I mean, I agree with I agree with most of I feel like when I was younger, I agreed way more with the punk thing, more so. Like, I was just really I was way more like that in my 20s probably. Like, you know what I mean?
Yeah, I know what you mean.
So you guys what's some crazy shit that happened, like, while you guys were together and stuff? Like, there's like a 10-year span. Like, what's some crazy stories that, like, nobody knows about, or maybe people will dig?
It was pretty crazy times. When I joined the band, Mike was this heroin addict and an alcoholic, and these guys were just they were pretty much party animals, and I had a job and a bungalow in Hollywood, and so when I joined the band, they all moved in. I didn't know they were going to all move in with me, so I worked, and they slept on my couch, and we went out every night.
That's how the drummers are in bands. I feel like the drummers always seem like the guys who know when the show times are and like have all their shit together, and the rest of the guys just get fucked up and like maybe show up on time sometimes.
Well, yeah, I was a tour manager for years before, when we were still in the van doing tours in vans. I was a tour manager, and it was my job to collect all the money at the end of the night and get the boys in the van and to the next town or to the radio interview or whatever. But I've had some pretty wild times, touring with, a lot of cash, in your pockets, and you couldn't leave it anywhere. When you went on stage, I had $1,000 in each pocket, sweaty 5s and 1s. I had to keep it in my pocket because I couldn't leave it anywhere. So here we were in the middle of nowhere with a whole bunch of cash on us.
That's hilarious.
It was sketchy as hell.
That's funny, man. Like, and you toured with Neil Young too, didn't you?
Yeah, we were asked to open for Neil he had just put out an album called Ragged Glory.
Okay.
It was one of his real electric albums, and he was rocking. It was not folky at all. Neil was doing a going rock, and he chose a couple bands, Social D, and also to accompany him on that tour. So we went Sonic Youth also. We toured all through U.S. and Canada, played big old hockey arenas all through Canada and all through the U.S. and it was quite an experience.
That's great. So you said it was who was in the band? You said Sonic Youth.
Sonic Youth.
That'd be such a fucking awesome show. Social Distortion, Sonic Youth, and fucking Neil Young. That's hilarious.
Yeah, it was a great time. They were big old echoey, hockey arenas, and he was really into this, feedback and distortion, and he's kind of an effects expert. You know, his sound is that he creates from his amps is unmatched. But you know, it was a lot of big old echoey rooms that suited the music perfectly.
That's just like crazy. That sounds awesome. That sounds like a good time for sure. Like, and do you still meet rock stars? Like, I mean, you're in a good location too. Like, you now in a restaurant in like Long Beach, or bar restaurant in Long Beach, and like, do a lot of people come in like knowing your band or knowing you?
Yeah,
like,
amazingly enough, they do. And you know, I've got the skeleton on the pint glasses and stuff, and there's a lot of people still, you know, from around the world know of the band, and when they come around to LA, they've heard of this place, and they come check it out.
I was reading an interview too. It said, like they asked you why you live in Long Beach, and you said because it's not LA.
Well, where else can a punk rock drummer own his own bar?
No shit, yeah. No shit. But Long Beach is fun for reasons like that. Like, you like at your bar, you got Alex's bar, you got a couple places down there that kind of like punk winning. You don't have many. You have a couple punk bars here, but there's not many people that listen. Like, I'm in St. Louis, there's like less population, I think, probably. It's just that's probably the reason. But no, Long Beach has punk bars. It's crazy to me to think about even. And you're one of them. It's like, that's crazy.
Yeah, it's a good town.
Yeah, and I did see you guys have this Social Distortion glasses too. That's pretty cool. And I saw that Mike Ness stopped by there. There's like a picture of him there on one of your websites when I was Googling stuff.
Yeah, Mike and I are still good friends. We always will be. He's come by before, and you know, whenever he's in the area, he'll stop by.
That's crazy. You guys look. It's just so funny seeing like punk guys look so healthy. Like in the picture, you guys look like you could be like my neighbor or something. Like you know what I mean?
I caught us on a good day.
Yeah. That's funny, man. So what kind of stuff did you listen to, like, that got you into, like punk? You said you're in a band called the Lewd before, and, like, what kind of got you into more into, like, what kind of punk bands got you into it?
Well, you know, we were always fascinated by the Ramones, and, you know, that was the band that kind of, everyone who thought they could maybe play an instrument, you know, you could play the Ramones because it was more simple. And you know, you could play along with a Ramones song, where you know you couldn't play along with a Rush song or a Led Zeppelin song. So you know, it was the early you know, New York Dolls and Sex Pistols and Elvis Costello that really came out of left field for me and a lot of people, and it was sounded so much different than anything else that was on the radio. You know, we were forced to listen to Journey on the car radio, and you know, terrible rock from the 70s is what we were forced to listen to. So when the Sex Pistols came out, it was kind of it was a breath of fresh air.
I love the Sex Pistols. Like just the attitude alone, like going into like apartments and spraying their band name on shit, and like that shit. Like there was nothing funnier to me as a kid. Like didn't see it. Like you grew up like you were probably like 12 when that shit came out. So you were like a kid when like all that was going on.
I came out. I was you know, in my late teens.
Oh, okay.
When that came out, and I was living in San Francisco and around that time.
That's fucking awesome. I wish I was a kid when the Sex Pistols came out and I had an opportunity to see them, or like even. Yeah, nothing like that was happening. I think we had like fucking boy bands and shit. Like when I was a kid, had like Korn and boy bands.
Yeah, I'm sorry about that.
You got robbed, man.
We were lucky to be around that time. You know, and the Clash was a big influence on a lot of people. That was some great music.
Yeah, the Clash was badass too. The Ramones were kind of just like the punk Beatles to me, kind of like when you talk about how simple they play, they just remind me of the Beatles, kind of like and how the music was, not the lyrics or anything, but like how the chords were they're almost like dirty Beatle chords or something.
Yeah, you know, it was just, you know, romantic pop songs, you know, with an up tempo. Yeah.
And then like after fucking Frampton Comes Alive, something like that had to happen. You know what I mean?
Yeah. That stuff just we were repulsed by that stuff. We got to tour with the Ramones once too, and that was a real experience. We opened up for the Ramones at around 1990. We toured with them, and that was a lot of fun.
Wow, no, that is cool, man. Like that's two legendary bands. It's crazy. Your time frame was a lot better for punk, I think, like music-wise and shit. You had a lot of cool shit around that time.
Yeah, it was a lot of good stuff.
That's awesome. So what, do you listen to any current music, like, or what do you listen to now?
You know, I've been searching for and I've been, you know, I'm trying to find something current and try to stay relevant. But the only thing that's come out lately that I like it and is I'm a Post Malone fan.
Me too, man. I like Post Malone. It's funny.
And other than that, there's not a lot of good rock out there. I've always, you know, trying to find a new rock band to listen to, but I'm afraid to say I think rock and roll's dead. And I know I'm the last one to want to say that. It hurts me to spit that out.
No, something happened in the last like 10, 20 years where like any of the bands that got through, you're just like pussies, like Maroon 5 and shit. You know, it's just like it's not even like I don't even want to be that guy, but it just sucks. Like everything just sounds like Nickelback or something.
Yeah, it's terrible. And I don't know. I mean, I'm sure there's some raw good rock out there, but it'll never see the light of day. I guess if there's no nightclubs to play and there's no nightlife to speak of. I mean, if people aren't going out and, you know, shelling out $5 or $10 to listen to live music, then that's what happens. That's what you get. You get whatever, you know, homogenized shit that they play for you.
Yeah, so
there's no string of nightclubs. There's no string of nightclubs to tour. There's no way for a band to tour the country like we had to do. But, you know, gas was $1 a gallon and motel rooms were $35, so that makes it a little easier to get from town to town on a couple $100.
You still have like cheap buses. Like I get from like St. Louis to Chicago for like $5. Then you still have like Airbnb. But yeah, hotels are like fucking like $200 and like gas is fucking ridiculous. I mean, if you're going anywhere far, it's bullshit.
Yeah,
and
you can't. It's hard. It's real hard to tour. Well, it's always been hard to tour, but you know, it's hard for a band to get a following outside of their area, just because the expenses are different. You know, you can't go to San Francisco and back to LA like you used to be able to. It's you know, cost you $1,000 to go take a band up there for a night.
Yeah, and then you have to split any profit left over with 4 other people.
Yeah, right. So, yeah, it's kind of sunk. There's the touring business is for up and coming bands is kind of out of reach.
Dude, it is. It's bullshit. After the '90s, I'd say, man. Like I used to be in bands and stuff like that, and I quit doing music because of that. Like I get to like haul drum sets and all, and like you had the worst job probably. You probably don't like from my loose understanding, you're the only musician that ever had a job. And then also you had to carry a drum set and set it up on stage too. Like I was like I'm like, holy shit.
The first one there and the last one to leave.
Yeah, that's insane to me. Like, but back then it made more sense. You could make money. You sell and people bought records. So you had like products and stuff. Like now it's like that's almost why I went comedy. I feel like I just show up and I have like the talking to a microphone there I get set up or something, and like I don't have to set up a drum set with somebody or like, all these amps and shit and like fucking like all this, and then split the money like 5 ways or whatever, however the many fucking ways. Like it's just weird. You're in a perfect time to have that kind of music. I think because I think a lot of my buddies had like punk bands growing up, and myself too, and just like no one was ready for it. Everybody wanted to listen to fucking bullshit like T-Pain and stuff when I was a kid.
Well, it was an interesting times. It was more wide open. You could get away with a lot more. You know, before there was cameras everywhere, and you know, it was more wide open. You could do pretty much whatever you wanted at that era.
Yeah, the police stayed real incredible. I imagine the parties were a lot better before fucking cell phones and all that shit like that.
Yeah. Oh yeah. It was couldn't imagine the difference.
That's funny. So what's your favorite experience about the whole ride so far? Of like that 10-year period of just like touring and being in a big ass band, really. I mean,
you know, I don't really have one exact experience. You know, there was not one exact experience, but you know, just the journey that it went from like I said, you know, 4 guys splitting up the money on the hood of a car, you know, going from town to town, you know, rehearsing maybe in a garage somewhere, And then, you know, as it progressed and you know, then you're in a tour bus and everything changes though. It changes, and some, you know, that's usually the point where the bands run into problems because there's too many people with their hand on the pie. And then you got to have more managers, more producers, more, you know, you got all these there's way more people involved, and then it turns into a whole different animal. But you know, it was definitely a great experience for a young man.
Yeah, it seems like the ideal like 20-something-year-old job. Like being in your 20s, it seems like the best job you could possibly fucking have. Like,
yeah, it was like you're traveling everywhere, you know, and you know, there's everybody loves you. The girl, you know, there's girls everywhere, and it's a blast.
That's awesome, man. Like, it sounds great. Like, you basically accomplished your dreams. It's like, I feel like I work with a lot of people, myself included, that wanted to do like music, and it's cool, like getting to talk to somebody that actually like did that. Like, it just seems cool, man. Like, it seems like a lottery system almost, of how hard it would be to blow up, like then or now, even, you know.
Oh yeah, it was 1 in a million. It's 1 in a million. I'm lucky. I'm a lucky guy. I know that.
That's
in the right place at the right time.
That's great. You know that too. A lot of people just think. And like, it seems like you're able to separate like left and right brain almost. Like, I don't think a lot of artists are. Like, like the fact that you even had a job like surprised me as a musician. Like, not to be a dickhead, but I would say like any musician I know does not have a job. Like, I feel like, and it's just like, I don't know, you had the right brain, left brain kind of thing. Like, I just see a lot of drummers on their shit though. Like, drummers do seem to be on their shit more than like other musicians.
I agree. 100%.
Because even like my buddies in a lot of reggae bands. That's kind of like all my punk friends went to reggae bands. Like by now. Pretty much. Like, when we were all like in our 20s, like everybody was doing was in a bunch of like punk bands and shit, and then like by the time they got to their 30s, everybody's in a reggae band almost around here.
I think reggae bands can make money. Punk
That's
bands can't make money. I think reggae bands, you know, can make a few bucks.
That's the thing. Like, a lot of them have like a basketball team with them. They got like 8 members. They got like a fucking horn section and stuff. So it's like, and then like you said about the managers, so every manager's just trying to take like fucking 10, 20%, and then you agree to something, they're trying to up you on it later. So like, man, I need more now. I'm just like, you need more now? Like, what the fuck? That's why we have negotiation.
Yeah, it gets out. It's just out of your hands. You know, it's everything. It's just a big mystery of how it all works. At some point, you just, you know, you really don't ever know how many records you sold. You know, you hope you're getting the right amount.
No shit. Yeah, the store could be pinched on, the label could be pinched on, anybody along the way, employees.
Yeah, you know, there's just way more people involved, way more people's decisions, and
door guys even. Like, just even door guys pocketing your fucking pay, you know? It's like,
you know, yeah. Well, it's just expensive to tour. You know, a bus driver makes the guy driving the tour bus makes, you know, more than the band.
Yeah, no, I hear that. That's so true. Yeah, no, everybody involved does. Like, unless you just like, you guys were good because you had record sales still. Like, I look at the.
We were lucky to be around at a time when people actually shelled out and bought CDs. You know, we went from, you know, CDs, cassettes, and you know, people. I think they were $16, $17 at the time, and you went out and bought them when the album came out. You went to Tower Records and bought a CD, and that, you know, that's the way that whole business was based. And then, of course, when, you know, Napster came around and the internet came around, it all crumbled, and there was no way they couldn't make money selling records anymore. So it all kind of fell apart, the whole system.
Yeah, and everything, man. Like even like the porn stars I talk to, no one buys porn. They watch it on Pornhub. Like the film people I talk to, they don't sell, like directors don't sell DVDs anymore. Like, I mean, pretty much just like entertainment's crushed all the way around. It looks like from anyone I talk to. Like, but I mean, it doesn't seem like anybody's hurting. But they would be doing a significant, like they'd be doing better economically if like they had more products still. There's just no one buying like.
People are not used to paying for their entertainment now. They want it. They get it free on their phone. They won't shell out $5 to watch a band because they can watch them for free on their phone and listen to all their music right here. They're not, you know, it's all right. Everybody's glued to their phone and they don't do anything else. It's sad.
No, it's true. It's super sad. Like there needs to be like a different. These guns are cool. It's just not the end all be all. And it almost ruined the entertainment because I mean, this is why you're having people like I mean, whoever the fuck is blowing up right now, like Cardi B, like Bieber and shit like that. Like because only the dumbest people buy music, so then like the dumbest music's getting around.
Yeah, I guess that's what we got.
That's what it seems like to me. I mean, because you have like a lot of Christian bands blow up, you have a lot of country bands blow up, and you have a lot of these bullshit pop stars like that. I'm not even really convinced they sell that many records because like they're trying to say like Rihanna's Umbrella sold more than like Nirvana's Nevermind, and I just don't fucking believe that. Like it makes no sense to me. Because Nevermind came out in the 90s when people were buying albums, and then like Rihanna came out, that song came out in like the 2000s, but no one fucking bought music. It made no sense.
I don't even know where do you buy it. I wouldn't even know where to go buy it if I wanted it.
That's what I mean.
I mean, you know, if I can hear it for free.
Yeah, so it makes no sense that anybody's breaking records. Like they're still saying people are breaking records, but I just don't believe it. Like I'm just like I don't think that's even true.
No, it's like I say, the numbers are mystical.
Yeah. It's so crazy. Yeah, bands only existed by rich people in LA yachts, I think. That's why they exist.
I think so.
Was there anything you want to plug before we get on here, man? Like I've talked forever, but I'd like to keep these kind of short. People got a short attention span.
Okay. No, I appreciate the opportunity. The fact that you're a fan of something I did that long ago is it's an honor to me. So I'm glad to help you.
Dude, it's an honor to have you on the show too. I mean, I've interviewed some bands. Like this is I was a huge fan of Social Distortion and a lot of these punk bands in general. I don't want to dumb it down and sum it up, but like I'd say the easiest way I could is say it's punk bands in general. Through my 20s, I had the mohawk and all that before I went bald. You know, had all that shit. I fucking love punk. It's like where I was at in my 20s, probably just I think it was like an intellectuals music almost, like an angry intellectuals music almost.
We were mad at the world at the time.
Yeah, and smart enough to say something about it, like, you know what I mean? I was like, not just like some barbarian just hitting things. You're just like, all right, we're gonna fucking travel and tell people we're pissed off.
Yeah, we had a message. And we fought a lot of opposition. We were not, punk was hated at the time. It was not, it was not commercial. Hot, Green Day had not come around. There was no Hot Topic in the mall. It was an underground movement, and we were not really liked by the cops or most of the people that we encountered were wanted to beat us up.
Jesus, that's so crazy to think about. Like I heard the manager of like the Sex Pistols did an interview one time. He was talking about how he found Johnny Rotten like walking around London with like this like cut up shirt that said Led Zeppelin sucks. Like on his shirt.
Yeah, we hated him, and they hated us.
That's so great. That's just so great. I just love that standpoint because like history books don't talk about punk in like that way. Where like they cover it and like documentaries will cover it, but they don't talk about like the raw hatred for pop culture that the youth had at that time and really sum it up. I don't think because like I just like love that concept. I wish my generation would have had something like that where we wouldn't have had to pretend like Drake's a good artist or like these people just like the same shit over and over again. It's like
yeah, we were definitely disenfranchised.
Yeah, no, and did something about it. I think a lot of people don't relate to pop culture and like just because it sucks and it's for lack of a better term, it's for retards really. It's just like it's like the lowest common denominator is drawn to like pop music, I think.
Yeah, it's strange.
No, it is weird. But dude, thanks for coming on here. Check out Chris's Pike Restaurant or how do you call it, man? You picture yourself like Pike Bar, Pike Restaurant. What do you say?
Pike Restaurant and Bar.
Cool.
Long Beach, California, 4th and Cherry. Stop by.
Tell me said hi. And then
mention this ad and I'll get a free beer.
I'm gonna use that when I'm in town. I'm like you said on my show that I get a free beer when I'm in. I'm just joking. Well, thank you. Well, thank you, man, for coming on. I'll be in contact, and I appreciate you taking the time to talk to me on a Saturday like this.
Great. Thanks for the opportunity.
Likewise, brother.
All right.